Someone asked me recently, hey, when Adam and Eve was in the Garden of Eden, why didn't God give them something to fight off the adversary so that he would not be able to deceive them? And I said, well, he already did. He said, what do you mean he already did? Well, if you go to Genesis chapter 2, verse number 17, I believe it is, it says this, let's start at verse number 16. It says this, and the Lord commanded the man, talking about Adam, he says, saying, of every tree of the garden you may freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat of it. He says, for in the day that you eat of it, you shall surely die. Now, that word die doesn't mean that you physically die right away. That word die means that you die spiritually, or you separate yourself from God's ways of doing things. Now, one of the commandments that God gave man, or one of the instructions that God gave man just before he gave him the commandment, was found in verse 16, where it says, then the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden, and this is what he told him. He says, Adam, I want you to tend it and to keep it. That word tend means to cultivate. That word keep means to guard. What would you have to guard against if there was nothing? Well, why would God tell you to guard if there was nothing to guard against? God already knew that the adversary would try to come and try to tempt the man, but he had already equipped the man to be able to overcome it. When did he equip him? Well, when God created him, this is what he said in accordance to Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. This is what he says: let us make man in our image and our likeness. And he says, and let them have dominion. That word dominion means authority, rule, rulership. What is he saying? Let them have dominion, a rulership over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. What is something that creeps on the earth? Snakes. Why is that important? Because when the adversary came to Adam and Eve, the serpent had yielded his body, and for the adversary to have expression in the earth. And when he yielded his body, the very thing that was talking to Adam and Eve, if Adam and Eve would have used their authority, their dominion, their rulership, and told him to get out of there, he would have had to obey. And he knew it. He just banked on the fact they didn't know it. And that's what I want you to think about today. My name is Apostle Milton Jones. I want to thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next time. God bless you.